Hey everyone, welcome to a commentary for Shen, the Eye of Twilight. And this is just a demonstration of a game where I've, repeatedly failed as Shen. I'm not particularly wonderful at Shen, but what I do want to note is that I'm not really that bad at him. It's really hard to be, horrible with him unless you use your ultimate badly. That's really the extent of the difficulty, along with landing any of your taunts. But anyway, this game I'm fighting a Kha'Zix, and one of the things that Shen struggles against is big split pushers like Kha'Zix. So I was kind of a little worried for whether this matchup was going to be positive or not. But I wasn't really worried about Kha'Zix pushing me out of lane, and let me tell you why. Because honestly, I feel like the more you play a certain champion, the less effective they manage to be against you, especially a character that I main like Kha'Zix like this. Lee Sin is kind of an exception to this, because there are people that can be kind of particularly bad at... there are people that can be worse at other Lee Sins than others. But with Kha'Zix, it's just kind of cut and dry. It's kind of a singular way to play him. I mean, there's not too much complexity in playing him, so not much going on here. We're getting into the gameplay here. I'm just kind of farming and trading with Kha'Zix every time he tries to get close to minions and stuff, but for the most part I don't want to get into a big engagement because I don't want to lose health all at once. And I know that early on Kha'Zix might be able to fight me a little bit, so anyway, that's kind of what happens with me whenever I play Kha'Zix. Is whenever I'm fighting a Shen, I make it known that he can't fight me, so that he doesn't get too aggressive in his trades. But this Kha'Zix kind of, I feel like he wasn't very experienced, and it's not that he was bad at Kha'Zix, it was just that I feel like he didn't know the matchup between us. He didn't know that it was pretty positive on our end. So I was a little isolated there, so I didn't want to go in and commit there, because I would have just died in that trade. But Hecarim managed just to get a flash out, so that's a positive outcome. But for the most part, this lane is just me never pushing and then always farming, which is actually it's bittersweet. It's a bittersweet way of it's a bittersweet top lane for me, I guess. I really like when I can decide whether I want to push or not, which is why I like Lee and Kha'Zix so much, because I can, especially with Kha'Zix, Kha'Zix can push a wave with his W, or but let's not make this commentary into Kha'Zix, because next commentary is going to be about Kha'Zix. I'm going to upload 2 videos today, because I wasn't really able to upload them for a long time because my little replay was fucking up. I don't know what was going on. But anyway, yeah. So as you can see, this is kind of the extent of how you farm. You use your Q sometimes if you don't think you can get that last hit. But if you can hit with your standard auto attack, then go ahead and do that. But yeah, just last hit with your Vorpal Blade sometimes. Try to use your key strike to determine whether you can get a hit in there. He tried to get me with his W. I'm not letting him poke me, because that's one of the easiest ways for Kha'Zix to win the lane. The more you main a certain champion, the more you know that you can exploit their weaknesses. I've been half tempted to play Nidalee one game, even though I'm not very good at her. I want to see what her weaknesses are, most of all. It's kind of how I'm dealing with Singed, which a lot of people are saying is really overpowered right now because of the items he can build. But I can kind of understand what makes Singed tick, because I know exactly what I can exploit in him. One of the things is that early game he's really, really susceptible to ranged harass. One of his most negative matchup. A few of his most negative matchups are ranged characters like Cho or Nidalee or Teemo even. Teemo's one of the hardest counters to Singe. There's nothing you can do. And right there, I'm just coming out ahead in that trade, and there's not much he can do. Now, one of the things here's the thing. I hit 6 right now. One of the things people make a mistake in doing is looking right away for places to ult. You don't always have to do that, especially in this game where like my team was pretty far ahead. I just kind of ulted whenever somebody was diving someone or something. So right here he evolves his spikes. This is really where the pain starts, as will be exhibited right here. And I think he knows that. I think he was trying initially to go in for a kill on me. And had I not had these potions, he probably would have been able to. I would have been forced out of lane. So one of the things, even though Kha'Zix is kind of a negative matchup for Shen, it's not like you can't do anything about it. It's just that it's going to be a little harder for you to do what you normally do, which is farm past level 6. And the other thing that makes him a direct counter isn't necessarily the fact that you can get heavily damaged per se, but against Kha'Zix all the time. It's more the fact that he kind of counters what exactly Shen does, which is he split pushes and then he goes around other lanes to help them out with the ultimate and then make plays there. Kha'Zix can push the wave while you're gone and probably get your turret. He's really split push heavy. That's what makes him so dangerous. Rumble isn't quite as fast of a split pusher. Darius is another one of those characters that can also do counter him as well, because Darius will not only kill Shen outright. I mean, early game Shen kind of struggles against Darius because he can't get close to any farm. But it's also due to the fact that while Shen is teleporting, unless you keep yourself safe and isolated and stuff away from Darius, he can pull you in the middle of a teleport, so that can keep a lot of your presence out of place. So let's see. Scone Thief's a little out of place here. He's gonna die. It's only a matter of time. I don't know why he turned around. That was really stupid of him, but it ends up getting him killed. So not much to say there. He's just kind of being an idiot. And the thing is, I could have ulted there, but there was no guarantee that I could save Mordekaiser without going down myself. So it's kind of like using Shen's ultimate is kind of the same mindset you have to have while you're trying to defend a turret. I mean, if you're defending a turret, you have to make sure that you're going to be able to stay there and stay alive. So in my case, it would have been, I need to be able to know that I can use my ultimate and stay alive and make sure that we don't give up 2 free kills. It's one of the biggest pitfalls that I fall into as Shen, and it's something that I'm trying to get out of the habit of. And a lot of people will get mad at you. I mean, if you don't use your ultimate at a certain time, and that's just something that they're gonna have to deal with, because one of the things about playing Shen is using your ultimate wisely, and you're the one playing Shen, not them. So they don't get to tell you how to play your character. So right here, I'm just farming up still. He's trying to poke me down, but I have a lot of health. And I'm just seeing how much damage I can do here. I realize that I'm not going to win this trade outright. He's got no mana though, so that's actually completely destroying him. If I had known that, I probably would have turned around again. I didn't know exactly how much mana he had, but well, he didn't have enough mana for the jump, otherwise he would have jumped away instead of just dashing away like that. So that was fortunate on my part. I still haven't used Flash because I haven't needed to. So definitely something to consider is Shen doesn't have doesn't have mana, so you don't have to worry about conserving mana with like a lot of other characters. Now that isn't that big of a deal sometimes, but it's one of the few things that make Zed viable. Is the fact that he does a lot of damage, and by the way, I stupidly used my exhaust here. I probably just should have walked away. I should have walked away, and then if he tried to farm again, I should have just used my exhaust then. But yeah, so don't squander your don't squander your summoner spells, because they could mean something later on. Especially right here, that he could have been even more afraid to farm, because I would have flash exhausted or something, especially since he didn't have flash. But so far his W isn't really doing much damage. I'm gonna get a Sunfire Cape first because I know exactly what Kha'Zix is gonna try to do. When you're picking items for situationally tanky items like Shen or Olaf or something like that, you have to keep in mind what exactly the enemy is going to try to do to you. Especially a negative matchup like this, one of the most important things is always situational awareness in terms of what items you build. In this case, if he hadn't tried to split push and I knew that he wasn't going to try to, I would have been just like, yeah, let's get like boots first or something. I don't give a shit. But in this case, getting Sunfire Cape is going to help me a lot more in the long run because it's going to help me to split push as fast as Kha'Zix will. And it'll also give me exactly what I need against Kha'Zix, which is armor and health. So in the end, getting this item first was extremely helpful. I know a lot of people at low elo play don't really like getting Sunfire Cape because they're like, all it does is give you magic damage around you. It's not that effective, blah, blah, blah. Well, honestly, it's one of the few items that gives health and armor. And the only other item that does that is Randuin's. And Randuin's wouldn't have helped me against Kha'Zix because the AoE field, the AoE like slow attack speed aura wouldn't have been very effective. I tried to save Corki there. Minions end up killing him, so that's a little unfortunate there. I couldn't quite save Corki, but I at least kept him alive long enough to make it a 1-for-1 trade. Because in that case, in any other case, it wouldn't have been like that. So right here, I go ahead and try to flash taunt Elise, but I didn't know that Vayne was coming around. Otherwise, I would have gone for that. We still end up getting Elise, so that flash taunt wasn't exactly the worst. But always keep in mind where your teammates are and where enemy teammates are. If you guys were paying attention there, one of the other things I tried to do was stay away from the walls because I knew that Vayne would immediately try to stun me, and I would have taken a lot more damage than I wanted to. So, right there, Fizz kind of trades in on us. We don't end up burning much, but we do end up showing Fizz what's up and how much damage we really do. Unfortunately, I should have gone through there because then I would have been able to see Kha'Zix. Scone Thief, I was telling him, like, yeah, Kha'Zix is coming, dude, you're gonna die, like, you need to be careful. Unfortunately, he does have to burn Flash, but he does live, so it's not the worst thing in the world. It could have been a lot worse. So, I'm just farming until my ultimate comes up, then I'm trying to see what areas I can really help out. See right here. Without Sunfire Cape, I don't know if I could have pushed this minion wave as quickly. It's one of the things that you have to keep in mind with Shen is that you're not that fast of a pusher on your own because all you have a bunch of single target stuff, including your taunt and everything. Well, excluding your taunt. Your taunt is AoE, but it only works on champions now, which is something that changed. So right there, nice kill going in on Thresh. I'm going back and getting my Merc Treads because I want to be faster and I want to be able to get some magic resist against Elise because she does quite a bit of damage. I didn't have my ult here, or else I would have gone in on them. So they go ahead and kill Kha'Zix again. That's the thing. A lot of Kha'Zix players just kind of jump into the middle of everybody and not really think about the consequences. One of the things that I'll display in the Kha'Zix commentary is, well, it's a lot more complex than that. You don't just jump in and kill someone like a lot of people think. One of the reasons why he's banned isn't because he can do that. I mean, most of the time, assassins just, like, jump into the middle of somebody and just insta-give them. But anyway, this is a bit of a tangent because I'm split-pushing and there's not much to say about Shen split-pushing, just that it's cool, I guess. So, I'm pushed to the turret and everything. Scone's coming up here to help me out in pushing this minion wave. We're both very good pushers. I specifically recommended to Scone Thief that he pick Mordekaiser. He's actually a pretty good Mordekaiser too. That's the other reason why I asked him to do it. But one of the main reasons was because if he hadn't, then I don't know if we would have had quite as much damage. I know Hecarim does quite a bit of damage, but we're also both pretty tanky. And what we needed was a lot of burst damage. And there's no one... I mean, Mordekaiser does quite a bit of burst. And Well, the thing is, Scone isn't. I mean, he's an okay Rise. I mean, he's played Rise like back in Season 2, but I had much more faith in his ability to play Mordekaiser than I did in his ability to play Rise. So right here, Corky's coming in. Luckily for me, I keep Fizz away from Corky. If he had tried to dash to Corky, I would have just gone, hey, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and taunt you off of him. That's the other reason why I picked Shen, was because there were two like big assassins like Vayne and Kha'Zix and Fizz. They were like all assassins. Shen is really good at peeling assassins away from carries. It's one of his biggest strengths, is peeling assassins away from carries. And right here, Vayne does her old-fashioned, you know, chase after the entire team when they're at low health thing and maybe get a kill. Luckily for us, though, Corky had cleanse, so that didn't end up being that bad for us. We did end up wanting to run away, though, because we were all starting to get a bit low. Corky wasn't high enough health to do anything, so I just go ahead and go back up to split and resume split pushing. My only deaths in this game were helping my team get kills, and if there's any deaths you want, it's those, because it'll help in the end. They'll help you get your team get kills in the end. I don't know why I did that. Don't ask me. It's kind of a hot shot, like, oh, I thought, you know, we could still taunt minions thing, like, yeah. So Scone Thief kind of overextends a little bit, and he gets taken out by Elise, well, with the help of the entire team. So again, I'm just split pushing. Like, if they ignore me for too long, I'm gonna be at their tower again. Actually, past their tower, if I remember correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing this. This is pretty much what you do as Shen against like, well, against when you have people that you know are going to do well. Shen is definitely a character you want to play if you know that your team is going to win their lanes. Well, not necessarily, but, I mean, because his ultimate is still a godsend, but you have to know when to use it in that case. It's still one of those things, like, I know I keep mentioning that it takes a lot of skill to use his ultimate, because it does. I mean, you can't just use it, you can't just burn it, it's like a summoner spell, you can't just burn it whenever you want. So right here, I kind of figure that he needed a little bit of help, but I don't think he needed it. I just wanted to dissuade them from trying to kill Corky. So in the meantime, top lane's pushing, so that ultimate was actually not the worst in the world. So right as the turret taunts me, I'm like, I'm being a man, I'm doing this for you, Scone Thief. I'm gonna die for your cause, so you better get a triple kill or something. You better. So he ended up doing so. He ended up getting a double kill, and everyone else ended up ended up mopping up everybody. So they end up getting the ace there. Like, I just I sacrificed myself for to kill everybody. I mean, for them to kill everybody. Everyone's getting a little low. I don't know why they tanked the turret for this long. It was a little silly of them. But anyway, I'm still dead. That's just like, you know, I could go for these kills, but I'd probably die if I tried. I'm going ahead and trying to get a Warmog since I don't want to get bursted by. I want to make it even harder to get bursted by like Vayne or something. Because yes, she does do true damage. Yes, she does do crit damage. However, she won't do true damage with every hit. So having a lot of health will still end up benefiting you. Another thing is that I wanted to get more health so it'd be harder for Elise or Kha'Zix to burst me. Hell, even Fizz. Building health against Fizz is one of the easiest way to counter him because he doesn't have any real big percentage damage other than like the percentage of health that you're missing. So chances are that if you're gonna die like to Fizz, you were probably gonna die to anybody else, especially like late game anyway. Unless you're like someone squishy, because that's his target audience is squishy targets. So I'm just split pushing like I usually do, and here comes Elise, and she ends up kind of trying to counteract my split push. And so I just kind of go, you know what, I'm just going to go away. So we both see each other. Neither of us want to fight each other because we'll just end up starting a huge fight. And that isn't something they want, and that isn't something I want right now. I just want to split push. So I'm just going to keep on doing that, and they seem to be managing themselves perfectly fine, so it isn't really that bad. So, let's see. I'm at their tower. Scone Thief soon sees this and starts to help me out in killing this tower, so really not much to say here. Just me kind of pushing down this tower without really trying. So Tall Paul is gonna die. Scone Thief's gonna die too, but not before he kills someone, he brings someone down with him. So a big fight ends up happening here. I end up exhausting the I exhaust the Thresh so that my teammates can catch up fast enough to kill him. I don't know why Hecarim tried to tank the tower, especially with minions there, but whatever. I guess he knows best. Well, anyway, the game's pretty close to ending. We're just kind of messing around. I don't know why I tried to ult away there. But Corki ends up killing Elise there. That was unfortunate. The thing is, Corki got a double kill, but went down a hero. So right here, Vayne thinks that she can catch a Hecarim, and we all know that she can't, so whatever. In the meantime, Scone Thief is coming around here and about to kill Fizz. Yeah, he turns it around, makes him have to dash. So he ends up killing the Fizz pretty effortlessly. Now he has that little Fisherman Fizz ghost going around. And I'm back up. I have my Warmogs, but now I'm going for my Runic Bulwark, because Janna told me to get it, so I was just like, well, actually, no, she didn't. I think she was planning on getting it. But honestly, I think I would have been quicker and getting it than she would be. So in the end, it wasn't really that bad to try to get it. Here's where you know that something's wrong, like with their AD carry, is that I have more farm than their AD carry, and definitely not something positive for them. Corki has the most farm in the game, though, so that's definitely something positive to look at. He tries to kill Janna, and I'm just like, no, I'm not having that, and I taunt him away. And he ends up kind of randomly using his ulti. The only time you ever want to use your ulti as Kha'Zix, I feel like, is when team fights start. And most of the time, well, I'll tell you why you use it later on. So the ulti goes out. You get the slow aura on me. However, I'm getting dealt a lot of damage. So I'm just like, no thanks. I'm not doing that. But no, thank you. So I end up flashing away. Janna's gonna have to die for that, for my stupidity, and I am sorry for that, but it kind of had to happen. However, Kha'Zix jumps to me and thinks that he can catch me, and no, he can't, because I'm already far away from him. I'm just healing up for the next engagement, because it's definitely something positive on Shen, is that with enough health you can get an insane amount of health regen. One of the things that makes Shen so powerful is the fact that he can just build a ton of health and just do so much damage anyway, because his key strike's going to be doing like, let's see how much damage my key strike does. Damn it, it doesn't show in the indicator. I wish it showed in the indicator, because right now I should be doing like 200 damage or something. It's something ridiculous like that. Fizz ends up dying again. We're just pushing down here for the win, pretty much. We can probably fight them 3v5. I mean, like, we're strong enough to do that now, especially Mordekaiser, because he just does so much damage. Right here, yeah, there's just nothing that they can do, like, against Mordekaiser, because he's, not even with Leandries, there's not much that can happen there. So right here, she makes the mistake of jumping on Mord while Shen is next to him, so she ends up paying for it. And I wanted to kill Vayne. I probably could have flash Q'd there, but I didn't think fast enough. Well, actually, I didn't even have flash up, so it wouldn't have been possible. See right there, that's something you don't want to do as Kha'Zix. And I'll give another example of something like that later on. However, Fizz is not going to die for that mistake of the Scone Thieves, so that's a little unfortunate. And right there, I go ahead and I still want blood, so I go ahead and taunt Thresh, and Corki gets another kill. Doesn't really mean much at this point. He's got like 12 kills already, so well, unfortunately, Janna's gonna die, but well, actually no, she isn't, because she's got a shield and she's badass. Oh, gotta slow that minion. That minion's gotta go real slow, or else I don't know what we're gonna do. So that's pretty much GG. Not much is happening here. We're just messing around and stuff. So that's GG. That's Shen for you in a nutshell. And again, I would only use him on a team where you're confident in that they're going to do well, because Shen has the ability to make really big plays. But the thing is, if he doesn't have good people to help him do that, then he kind of falls flat and he doesn't do much. So that's GG. That's Shen. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.